Hello and welcome to the Music Shack podcast. This is episode number 68. This week you're joined by myself, Bruce.
Ron.
And Ed.
Alright, let's take a little peek-see into our couple albums this week.
Yep.
This week, I brought you guys along for Cleanse by Joywave.
It's not my favorite, but I did enjoy it.
It is definitely different.
What's the one? There was... I think it was the Inversion. I don't know. I think it's towards the
end.
Towards the end, but there was a song on here that had like whatever effect they used for the beat.
Oh, I think I know exactly which one
You know what I'm talking about?
It's funky.
It is, and I liked that. I think that was my favorite part of that song.
Yeah, like every song, when I listened through to it, like it felt like I was like half asleep and I was in a fever dream.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, like I said, I liked it. Definitely not what I'm used to. Definitely probably not going to be like a go-to for me, but it's definitely good. It's like if you and I were hanging out and you put this on, I'd have no issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's elements of each song that I do enjoy. So, yeah, it's solid overall, I'd say.
You got anything to add, Ed?
Not really. I just wasn't my thing, so
Yeah, understandable.
to be honest. So I guess we move on to my favorite album of the week. Zealand Arter's self-titled album. Quick question. On a self-titled album, the title track, is that still called a title track?
Yes,
Okay. Just want to make sure.
still a title track.
I just think it's weird that
Technically, it would be a self-titled track, but it's still a title track.
it's a self-titled title track.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
makes it very interesting, because then I could say my favorite album, or I could say one of my favorite songs was Zealand Arter by Zealand Arter on Zealand Arter.
Yep. Which you don't see very often.
No, it was rather confusing to me.
It made it very easy to find the album.
Yeah, it did.
I knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, I absolutely love this this album. I enjoyed some of the dirty rock elements that they incorporated into it, and the soulfulness of his voice, of his cleans, which I was not expecting, to be honest with you. Based off the it being a metalcore style group, I was not expecting soulful cleans.
Yeah. No, this was very good.
Yeah.
And it's 14 songs, but there's no skip.
Nope, no skippables. I thought Immersion was weird. Because you got like the electronic, and then him screaming and the band coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and then he says a few words, and it's just the band playing, and then him screaming, and then it drifts off into the electronic.
More of an ambient track.
Yeah.
I liked Death to the Holy.
Yes, that was a really
That
good
was a
one
really
off
good
this.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Liar, I thoroughly enjoyed. That one was very much so dirty rock.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different stuff on here,
Yeah.
and it all flows very well, surprisingly,
Yeah.
for how much different stuff they're doing. Definitely, I think the flagship single that at least we knew about was Gotterdammerung. But overall, there's a lot of good songs on here.
They shot their first music video for Run. Their first and only music video on Apple Music is Run.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Which I thought was very interesting. Again, like you said, no skippables. Very enjoyable album. Feed the Machine, that's been stuck in my head all day, to be honest with you.
That's also a Nickelback album.
This man always tries to find a way to bring Nickelback in everything.
Not always.
Run. You're right. Not always. But a lot. When you see fit, you like to drag Nickelback into it.
I do that with a bunch of different stuff. But if we got nothing else to add on this one, we can move towards my record, which was Halo by Amorphous.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much going on here.
I got like power metal vibes with like metal vibes. Like it was
So
it was a journey.
yeah, so they're not new at this, but what they do, first of all, they're Finnish.
And looks like from what I can read that they normally do prog metal.
Yeah, so they initially started as a death metal act, but as they developed their sound over the years, they began to incorporate prog, power, and folk metal.
And there was a good mix of all of that
Yes,
in some of the songs.
yes,
It wasn't even just
because the death metal aspect is some of the cadencing and the vocal style. That's where you get the deathcore vocals from. But there's also the power metal, which was typically in the melodies and the chorus, and some of the structuring, and then you have prog in terms of just how it jumps around a little bit. Plus, they even said that their lyrical inspiration comes from 19th century folklore from Finland,
oh shit.
which is where the folk aspect comes from. So it's all over the place,
It really is.
but it's so good.
It's quite the journey.
It is quite the journey. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I had gone through a couple different records along with this one to try to figure out if there was something else I wanted to play. And I found two things. One I didn't fully go through yet, but the other one I did, and I wasn't going to give it because it's straight up just like chaotic deathcore,
Okay.
which is usually hit or miss with this table. So I don't try to do that. So I went with this instead. But the Devils of Loudon was the straight up just deathcore chaos. That like
Chaos.
the style that Brand of Sacrifice does. That's what this was, and I liked it, but I don't think anybody else here would have. And then Nervo Chaos I checked out, which was All Colors of Darkness. I started playing this one, and I didn't want to give this one because of the vocal style that I was getting off of it.
Really? Was it that the vocals were poor, or was it?
They're not poor, but I don't think you guys would have enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because it's a very distinct style that I have not heard before, and it's a little off-putting at first.
Gotcha.
But as I got through the first song, I was like, this isn't terrible. And I started to like it, but based off of that alone, I was like, let's not do this one.
Yeah.
But I will finish that album at some point, because I have not gone through the whole thing yet.
There you go.
So yeah, Amorphous was good with Halo. I definitely liked it. And like I said, the Devils of Loudon with, that one's called Escaping Eternity. That was also pretty solid, in my opinion. That's just straight up energy and brutality the whole way through. A lot of goblin screaming, actually.
I love goblin screaming.
So it's a lot of goblin screaming. So
Goblin screaming.
yeah, that is what I had.
Fuck.
That is what I had for this week.
There we go. All right. So I guess if we have nothing else to add, we can move on into the charts of billboards.
Yeah.
All right, so
The boards of Bill.
I can start us off with the Hot 100.
okay.
Sitting at number 1 again, we have We Don't Talk About Bruno from the Encanto soundtrack. At number 2 is the new entry, we have Do We Have a Problem by Nicki Minaj and Lil Baby. At 3, we've got Easy on Me by Adele. At 4, we've got Heat Waves by Glass Animals. At 5, we've got Stay by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. At 6, we've got Super Gremlin by Kodak Black.
Super gremlin.
At 7, we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, U by Gail. At 8, we've got Shivers by Ed Sheeran. At 9, we've got Ghost by Justin Bieber. And at 10, we've got Surface Pressure by Jessica Darrow.
All right. Move on to the top 10 of the Artist 100. Still at number 1 is The Weeknd. Still at number 2 is Adele. Staying at number 3 is Ed Sheeran. Staying at number 4 is Doja Cat. Taking a 23 spot leap is Lil Baby to number 5. Drake stayed at 6th. Taylor Swift dropped 2 spots to 7. A new entry on the list is Mitski at 8. Morgan Wallen's down 1 spot to 9th.
Oh,
And Luke Combs is down 1 spot to 10th.
Morgan Wallen's almost out of one list.
He actually was for a while. Now he's, I guess because of the success of the double album, he's
Possibly.
very successful album for him.
It has been.
Never listened to it.
Neither have I.
But then again, country's hit or miss with me. And lately it's been a miss.
Alright, so looking at the Billboard 200 chart, looking at the top 10 of this one, we have the Encanto soundtrack still at number 1. Gunna went up to 2 from 3 with DS Forever. Yo Gotti has a new entry at number 3 with CM10 Free Game. Morgan Wallen with the double album is still at 4. Mitski with a new entry at number 5 with Laurel Hell. Down to 6 is The Weeknd with Dawn FM. Staying at 7 is Drake with Certified Lover Boy. The Weeknd is staying at 8 with The Highlights. Adele is down to 9 with 30, and Doja Cat down to 10 with Planet Her.
Okay.
So we're seeing not a whole lot of change. So that's quite interesting. I'm sure as we get later in the year, it'll hopefully switch up a little bit.
Yeah, there should be some changing of the guard.
I mean, we've already seen some changes made with artist
In the artist charts. So,
Yeah, it seems to be the artist charts and the singles charts that tend to change the most. And then, at least right now,
yeah.
and then the 200 global is kind of static for like a portion of it.
Yeah, the that was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah, the weird thing is, like, I remember last year and the year before, normally there'd be like a change. Like almost every week, like a new album that got released would be number 1 or number 2.
Right.
Now it seems to be a little bit more stagnant. I don't know if that's because more people are back to work or what, but that did seem to be the way that it was going. But we're going to head into our break, and when we get back, we'll talk about music news, recent releases, and I guess wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Unless we find a side topic during the break.
Looking to start a podcast? Buzzsprout makes it really easy. Get your show listed on every major podcast platform with little hassle. You'll join over 100,000 other podcasters already using Buzzsprout. You'll get a really good website with audio widgets you can use on other websites, tools to help you promote your show, detailed analytics, and more. Follow the link to get started. It'll let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. If you sign up for a paid plan, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card, and you'll be directly supporting us here at Music Shack Pod. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to get a podcast out there.
All right, we're back.
where do we want to start?
We could start with recently released because I don't have my news page pulled up just yet.
Oh, all right. Well, I wasn't ready for recently released. I was ready for news, to be honest with you.
Okay. That's fine. I
Alright.
have it refreshed now, so.
So, as everyone knows, last Sunday was the Super Bowl, and Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem performed along with Mary J. Blige. Performed at the Super Bowl halftime. I did not watch it when it happened. A buddy of mine told me it was great, so I tuned in to watch it on YouTube, and I wasn't impressed. And weird thing is I love music by the group of people that performed. I just felt like the performance was boring. Thought it was cool that Eminem took a knee, even though a lot of people flipped out about it. I can't believe that's still a thing. Flipping out about people, showing support. But no, I found the performance all around just fucking boring. Which is a shame, because I felt like they could have done a lot more. And Dr. Dre proved why I said that. I always said that Still Dre, the beat was basic. And Dre kind of proved that when he sat down at the piano and played 3 chords and transitioned to 3 chords and then back to the beginning 3 chords. Yeah, it was. Well, actually, it wasn't even 3 chords. It was 2 chords. He played like just a little fucking change, and I'm like, just a small octave change. Like, it wasn't even as much as I just did with my voice. Add in some basic fucking bass lines, and you pretty much have that beat. But what made that beat was the lyrics. So, of course, that was a different time period where lyrics carried the song, not the instrumental.
Right.
So,
I think he's working on new material, actually.
I honestly think that's why he did it. One of the things I am upset about, I found out artists don't get paid for doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep.
Well, apparently the NFL don't make enough money.
Or they do, and it goes to just the players.
It barely goes to the players. The players are paid by the organizations. The NFL has one hell of a profit margin. But, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently, I think Dre is working on new material as well.
Yeah. Dre's supposed to be working on new material. M's supposed to be working on new material. But I don't know. I felt that there was a lot more that they could do with what they did to make it more entertaining.
Dre actually has a new song out.
Alright.
Which came out earlier in the month. So.
Mary J. Blige dropped an album too. So did Snoop. Snoop dropped a new album.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't give it a listen, but
yeah, Eminem has a new song that came out on the same day that Dre did, so they're probably timing those.
Yeah.
Because it was him, it was Dre, M, and somebody else. They'll have a song that dropped on the same day. But I found an article about Ghost.
Ghost?
Yes,
Like,
the band Ghost.
okay.
Apparently, Tobias Forge sat down with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about the songwriting process for the new album, Impera. And he quotes saying that in every band I've ever had, every song I've ever written, I was always called a dictator, a control freak who couldn't work with anyone else. He then follows it up and says, I am a dictator and control freak, but I can work with people.
Ah, so unlike Ron, he can work with people.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. But they brought in a couple different people for collaborations, and he even says that he says that I find that I can work really well with someone I respect who is always pushing for the best. They make me want to write better and to get my game up a little. So apparently he's just known for being a hard ass when it comes to writing songs, and it has to be done his way.
All right, that's respectable.
That's about the only thing on here that I'm seeing
All right.
that is worth, like, I guess mentioning.
Yeah, I did see that people are up in arms about.
Oh, wait a minute. This is...
I got some Olympic news.
Oh.
So the the music group Heavy Young Heathens have filed a suit against NBC over U.S. figure skating using their song "House of the Rising Sun" in their performance, which I think is weird.
Wait, which band said this?
Heavy Young Heathens.
And they're doing what now?
They're suing NBC for a pair of figure skaters using their song.
Why?
Because NBC has more money than the figure skaters?
But what... Did they use a song for a performance?
Yes.
Aren't they allowed to do that?
NBC was not using the song. The
Right.
Olympic Stadium was using the song.
That's what I'm saying. Like, aren't they just allowed to do that?
They should have DMCA, like, an Olympic Stadium should have DMCA rules.
Right.
Like, DMCA should be a part of that. So, there's no reason. I see the suit as it should be thrown out. But if it isn't,
This is just a money grab situation then, if that's the case.
it's very much so money grab. You know, why write new music when you can sue over old music?
Yeah, really. That's where we're at now, apparently. That's sad. There's no integrity anymore.
Like, what? Why are you suing a company for broadcasting the Olympics instead of the people who chose to use the song? Or China, whoever was in charge of the thing, allowing that to be played inside the stadium. I don't get it. Be honest, I have not watched any of the Olympics this year for many reasons. I'm going to keep that off because don't need to talk about it, but I have reasons. But a figure skating pair. Figure skaters skate to other people's music. They don't make their own music to skate to.
Right.
They're not expected to. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that there's a like a, I don't want to say a clause or a loophole or anything like that. They're just allowed to do that, whether it's prior, whether it's because they just let them, or if it's like prior things that have been set in place.
And the fact of the matter is venues pay the DMCA so they can play songs inside their stadiums.
They get the, I'm pretty sure beforehand when they find out what songs are going to be used, they go and get the licensing for it.
Yes. So I don't understand why they're suing NBC for it when NBC is nothing more but a broadcaster.
Yeah.
It's not like they were playing, okay, after the break we have, and into the break they're playing House of the Rising Sun.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
So I
Which, I mean,
Although that would be pretty interesting. Have figure skaters make their own songs to skate to?
I don't know how well that would go.
Oh, it'd probably go terrible. But it'd be a very interesting concept.
Possibly.
But yeah, I thought that was fucking insane.
it's definitely crazy.
But yeah.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how that goes on, when that does go to trial, because that'll set basis for a lot of things in the future as well.
It will, but there's certain things I feel like if I was a judge, you would get laughed out my courtroom for. A group trying to sue a broadcast company for someone performing to a song. I'd be like, so should we start having people sue broadcast channels for having the NBA on or for having hockey on?
Like, I can see
Where you
maybe
can hear the
if
music in
the
between.
figure skaters themselves have put a video up of their performance that they recorded straight onto YouTube, and they didn't pay for the DMC rights on YouTube, then I could see that.
Yeah.
But this is, like you said, a big stadium that they pay for the DMCA rights most likely, and then it was just broadcasted for everyone to see.
And it's on, I'm sure NBC paid for it too. Like, not for that particular thing, but I'm sure things that they play going into break, they pay for it. So,
like, I can't see a big company like that not paying for the rights to play music
Yeah.
on national television that they probably have to do.
Right.
I mean, if this podcast made more money,
We'd be paying for the DMCA's of songs.
yeah, so we could play them instead of using shit that Ed generated off of FL Studio. Free plug for FL Studio. I've done this 2 weeks in a row. I'm just giving shit away.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, you want a random free plug? Oh my god. All right. Carrying on. Anyone else got any news?
I do not. Bruce, do you have anything?
Nah.
Okay. That then moves us into our lists that we found for recently released music. There are some names on mine.
Here we go. Doctor, what? What's your diagnosis?
I think I'm the only one of the three of us that had pulled up already, so I will start.
No, I can buy 'em right now.
Well,
Oh, okay.
and I'm very interested in hearing the Scandinavian disease list anyway.
As
Okay.
am I.
Okay, so I will start. So as of February 18th, 2022, according to Loudwire, Annihilator dropped Metal 2. Yeah, apparently there's a sequel to Metal now, called
I
Metal
actually
2.
saw that album the other day.
Hmm.
I was thinking about listening to it.
Ard dropped Take Up My Bones. Black Map dropped Melodoria. The Body and OAA dropped Enemy of Love. Boguslaw Balsarek's Crylord dropped Human Heredity.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Th-
That's a mouthful.
Can you repeat the name again, please?
Boguslaw Balsarek's Crylord.
Jesus. Why?
Don't know.
Because metal.
Because metal.
Because
Bunuel, I think it's pronounced, dropped Killers Like Us. Dagobah dropped By Night. That just weird that they have a Star Wars planet as their band name.
It happens.
It happens.
Esprit d'Air dropped Oceans. Foster Mother dropped The Ocean.
Oh, they dropped the whole ocean?
The whole ocean. It's one big ocean now.
Wow. That's impressive.
Damn.
That's skill. I'm jealous.
I believe it's Glacia dropped, I believe it's pronounced Atargan. I think it's Atargon. Goodbye June dropped See Where the Night Goes. Immolation dropped Acts of God.
Did you say immolation?
Immolation.
Mm.
Jonas Lindbergh and the Other Side dropped Miles from Nowhere. The Last of Lucy dropped Moksha. Lord Agharos dropped, I believe it's Coin. It's spelled Koine. I believe it's just pronounced Coin. Lunar Blood dropped Twilight Insurgency. Manic Sinners dropped King of the Badlands. Matt Pike dropped Pike versus the Automaton. Here we go. The Neptune Power Federation dropped Le Demon de l'Amour. Pure Wrath dropped Hymn to the Woeful Hearts. Remachined dropped Brain Dead. Rot TV dropped Sales of Torment. Savage Grace came out with 2 re-releases, one of After the Fall from Grace and Master of Disguise. Schizophrenia dropped Recollections of the Insane. Sick Bay dropped an EP called Brutal Existence. Spirits of Fire dropped Embrace the Unknown. Star One dropped Revel in Time. Static X dropped a 20th anniversary edition of Machine.
Static X?
It's a 20th anniversary edition of Machine. That's all.
Oh, okay.
There's probably some demos and stuff on there. And Vianity dropped Elements of Power.
All right.
Bruce has an idea of what we're gonna get next week.
It's probably going to be Vianity. I fucking love Vianity.
I have an idea of what we're going to get next week.
So do I. But I don't know how well they're gonna turn out. So
It might be a metal week.
possibly.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
let Bruce go so I don't accidentally read anything off his list.
Okay. So, from the 18th of February, Once Twice Melody by Beach House. Life on Earth by Hooray for the Riff Raff. Small World by Metronomy. Texas Moon EP by Krongbing.
Krongbing.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Once Child Songs of Yoko Ono.
What? Okay.
Well, that's a lot of people actually.
Is that like a collaboration thing?
Yeah. There's a lot. Oh, there's a lot of people on this.
So we have
Manticore by Shovels and Rope,
Manticore.
and Pray 4 by Alice Glass.
Okay.
Pray for what?
Just pray, bro.
Just Pray 4.
Is it the number 4?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
All right. So, Big Kirk dropped Digital Roses Don't Die.
Unless they fall into obscurity.
Anyway, our MC Mike dropped Junior Season. Yeet dropped Two Alive.
Yeet.
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 Yeet. Okay.
Yeet. DJ Lag dropped Meet with the King. The Tame Impala dropped Slow Rush B-sides and remixes. Vic Mencia dropped Vino Valentino EP. Let's see what else dropped. Oh, Bobby Zeppelin dropped Risen. I seen one earlier that made me laugh. Let me keep scrolling here. Oh, Shitty Boys dropped Terrifica.
Okay.
Yeah. A Pink dropped Horn. Bloodywood dropped Rock Shaka.
We may have to check that one out.
I'm checking that. As I said, I think I know what I'm giving you this week.
I hope that one's good.
I really hope that this one's good. Like, oh my god, Bloodywood. Like we had the conversation last week about streaming. I would not know that they exist without streaming.
Yeah, Indian metal band.
Yes.
And they bring the heavies.
They bring the heavies. The heavies.
Not the heavies, but the heavies.
Okay. I like their heavies.
Yes.
Yes. They and the cool thing is like they mix in they mix in like Indian folk within their metal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful form of metalcore. But unless we got anything to add.
I don't think I do.
Nope.
Alright then, that's gonna do it for episode 68 of the Music Shack podcast. Returning listeners, thank you for tuning in, as you hopefully always do. Anybody who's new, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please go on YouTube, hit subscribe or hit follow for whatever platform you're on. And feel free to check out the rest of our catalog of episodes, because we do bring up various different types of music at times, and we have different tangents and topics we talk about, so
Yeah.
there's always something for everybody.
Normally there's a side topic. This week there wasn't. But
It's a shorter week, but it was still a good week. So yeah, that's, if you want to follow us on Twitter at Music Shack Pod, we will be putting out updates on when we are going to drop an episode, so feel free to follow that and turn on notifications to figure out when we're going to drop an episode so you know firsthand. And yeah, that's all I got for you.
as always, player, one love, mosh and rave responsibly.
Have fun and don't die.
Garrett.
Enjoy the noise.